this is what we're going to be going on here. So we're going to look at first tip today. Folks, if you want to take down some notes here, we're going to be looking at reinventing the wheel. That's tip number 1. Number 2, product differentiation. You know, what are we looking like here, whether it's our market or whether it's another market that you're in. And tip number 3, you just don't know what you don't know. And so we're going to really kind of help gravitate and pull all this information together for you. So let's just jump right on in there, Adam. Let's start off with tip number 1. We don't want to go out and try to reinvent the wheel, especially with medical billing.
That's right. And I actually am an avid cyclist, and a bicycle with square wheels, you're not going to get very far. The wheel has already been invented, and it rolls really fast. So, yeah, I mean, we have put together a program that's very similar to a franchise. It's basically ready to go out of the box, and what it does is it allows anyone, regardless of your experience in healthcare or even running your own business, we've got all of the tools, all of the steps that we show you how to take, and we've been there, done that. So what you're doing, you know, as a part of our opportunity is, you know, you're following the steps that we tell you to take, and you don't have to make the mistakes that we made in the beginning when we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
So that's, you know, whatever opportunity you're looking into, obviously, you know, a really good model to have is something where they've already got it all laid out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, it all starts with all the different services that we're showing you right here. Obviously, Adam, I mean, I believe whenever your mom and dad started off, they only had one thing that they had going for them, and that was just medical billing. Your mom and dad were typing out medical claims, mailing them off, but things have certainly taken different turns over the last few years.
Yeah, it's taken a while, you know, and it was just through trial and error that my parents would start offering, you know, basically my parents would get a call from one of their doctor clients saying, hey, can you do this, or can you do this? And eventually, you know, they just realized, hey, we need to just tell doctors, yes, we can do that, and then they'll just figure out how to make it happen. So that's why over the years we've added these other very valuable services, because doctors need a lot more help than just billing. They have a lot of other things going on that they need help with.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's first of all start off with how ABS has like this complete system to help you launch your business. So we're going to talk about all these different ones: marketing, support, the contracts that we have, along with the proposals, obviously the training that we have here, demos, tools, the coaching, all of that here. So folks, this is where it's a good part where if you want to start asking some questions, specifically in each one of these categories, feel free to type in your question. We'll be kind of monitoring that. So maybe while Adam's answering some questions, or I'm maybe trying to answer a question, feel free to type in your questions, and we will just let this webinar take some ownership of yourself. So I think first of all, what we're going to do talk about is marketing. Adam, you want to talk a little bit about the marketing material that the people get and how maybe that can be customized for them after they become a licensee?
Yeah, so everything that you saw on that previous slide, you know, this type of industry where you're providing medical billing and other services to doctors, and there's other opportunities as well, that you can figure it all out on your own if you want to. You know, you can take a course on how to do medical billing online. I mean, there's college courses, there's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of different software packages out there, clearinghouses that you can research. And then when it comes time to, you know, putting together marketing materials, you can come up with stuff on your computer. You can use Microsoft Publisher or whatever you want. The problem is it's either going to end up looking really crummy, or you're going to end up spending a ton of money to develop the marketing materials like what you see here. So we've already done that for you. We have unique branded products that you're able to market and promote as your own. And we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars developing these printed marketing materials and online pieces where we actually customize them, and we print your name and logo and your brand on all these materials that you can use. So these are something that's just ready to go right out of the box.
Absolutely. Sharik Sharikra, you asked a question, if I have a business partner, can we both attend the training and receive certifications?
Yep, you sure can. There is an extra fee, though. The license agreement allows for one person to come to the training class. For $995 extra, you can bring a business partner, as long as we have room. That's the key thing. We have sold out every one of our training classes this year. We've sold out, Eric, right? We've had over capacity, basically. We've had to squeeze a few more people in than even we were supposed to, because there was that many people that wanted to get into the training. So it's very time sensitive as far as when, you're only able to reserve your seat for training whenever we get your agreement and your funding. So that needs to happen ASAP.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You can certainly do that. Now let's move to the second tip, which is the support. Actually, it's still within the first tip, that we don't want you to go reinvent the wheel. Adam just talked about all the marketing material that's out there. If you're trying to build this business all up on yourself, or whether you're trying to go into another business opportunity, you really need to dig into what kind of support are you going to be getting. Adam, I know I would think probably over the last 5 years, one of the biggest growths that we have had here at ADS is the area of support.
Yeah, I know there are people on this webinar that have been researching business opportunities, franchises, that sort of thing. And when you really start digging in and learning about the back end support, there are franchises that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars more than ours, who do not have a licensee support or a franchisee support site in place like what we have. They don't have the support tools in place like what we have. It's pretty sad, really. I mean, when you become a licensee of our company, there are multiple channels for support, and one of them is this private website. So when I say private, I mean you actually get a login to this that not just anyone can go to. It's a login where we have hours and hours of ongoing continuing education webinars, training materials, all the documentation that you need, sample contracts, agreements, everything. And then on that support site directly is contact with our support team. So you can reach out and get, a live person on a chat or an email or phone call or whatever you need. So we have a very, very, we're very proud of our support system that we've developed, and we feel like it's over and beyond what a lot of those even much bigger companies offer.
Yeah, remember one of the slides that I showed earlier, there are 3 major lifetime parts of support: marketing, training, and the technical support. So you're getting all of that for a lifetime. You don't have to pay anything extra for support. It's not like you're going to have support for 1 year or 2 years and then have to renew your support. We're continually supporting, and even through this website that Adam's talking about here, there's continual education that you keep going through, that our licensees keep going through just about every week. So there's always something there about that. Then we move into proposals. I mean, Adam, we've pulled everything together, whether they're contracts, whether they're proposals, just all of this that's laid out, including the proposal, the folder that I'm looking over here on the right side. We've got everything there for the licensee to go out there and look professional out there in the marketplace.
Yeah, not only have we put together these templated proposals where all you have to do is just put your logo and your name and everything in there, and we help you customize your proposals, of course, for every client as well. But they're out there in a Word document, they're ready to go, and we can help you customize those. And then, like you said, they come with a really nice presentation folder that we've spent a lot of money designing, and it's a very high quality paper as well. I mean, we paid a lot of attention to detail on these things, and it's not just some flimsy flimsy paper for the folder. It's very, very thick, high quality stuff. Yeah.
Then we go in, like we've already said, contracts. Whether it's the contract between you and the provider. Adams, I believe we even have contracts if they're wanting to hire either sales reps and or people that are going to work for them to actually do the medical billing. I mean, we've got every contract that there is that they could have to actually run their business.
Yep. Same with the contracts. They're ready to go as is. And if you're curious about how they're structured, you can contact your business coach with ABS, and we can kind of talk to you about how they're structured. The cool thing is since this is not a franchise, you are actually, with our opportunity, you're creating your own business entity, which means you can run the business however you want. That means you can have your service agreements read any way you want them to read. So if there's something in there that you don't agree with, or you'd rather do it a different way or have it worded differently, you're free to update those agreements and change them any way you want to, because this truly is your business.
Absolutely. Training. There's some questions that have already come in about training, so we're going to kind of start right here and talk about training. Adam, over the years, training has kind of morphed. I remember whenever I first started here over 9 years ago, I mean, we had a 3-day training class. Now we're at 5-day training class, and we're doing everything we can to squeeze in all the information within 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, several years ago, we is when we started doing the live training. So even prior to that, we had 0 live training. So the people that come on board now, they are getting a very solid, information-packed 5 days, 4.5 days of live training that we do in Dallas, Texas at the Spring Hill Suites Hotel. And we do those every 6 weeks. And like I mentioned at the first of this webinar, so far every class is sold out this year. So we're doing something right.
Right, absolutely. I'm going to ask a question from Foster, and I was trying to save your question there, Foster, until we got to training. He says, best case scenario, how quickly after training can we be set to engage with a medical practice and get them demoed, signed up, and EMR iClaim up and servicing them?
I was trying to... Oh, there it is. I was trying to find his question. Okay. So how quickly? So basically, once you get a contract signed with a new client, one thing that we do for you is we actually do the training and implementation of your new, for your new clients on the system, the iClaim system. So they get in touch with an implementation manager, and then we help set a go live date, and we get them to that go live date, which is, what is it, Eric? Roughly 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get them live. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to get all of the staff and the doctors through the training, all the different training webinars that they do and go-to meetings and whatnot. So it's about 2 to 3 weeks before you're going live and processing, and you actually start processing the claims. Now, of course, 30 days roughly from that date is when you can actually start invoicing for your services, for your billing company services. Does that make sense, Eric?
That's correct. You got it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so hopefully that's what he was asking there.
Yeah, Foster, if we need to clarify anything else, please retype your question. All right, and really another thing here along training, and before we get to the live demos here, Christine is asking, she's just stated, I've already tried to go to college to get certified that came with a large student loan bill. Christina, what we're doing differently than what a college would do, we're working to help you get established in a business, not just give you a certificate that you could just go work for another doctor's office, but to really drive this to help you build a business in medical billing and then be able to do that. So hopefully you can see the differentiation between going to college or a trade school to get a certification versus what we're doing here. Now, let's continue on. Remember, folks, we're trying to talk about this first tip. Don't try to go get into a business and try to reinvent the wheel. There's no need for you to do that, especially in this business. And Adam, I think 3 or 4, maybe 5 years ago, we part of the support mechanisms of what we were doing to help our licensees get their clients is getting to a live demo. And I think Foster was addressing that, is how quickly can we get them to a demonstration right after training class?
Yeah, whatever opportunity you're looking into, you want to make sure that the support that they give you involves helping you quite heavily with the marketing aspect of the business, because that's the hard part, getting the doctors to take a look at the product, how do I get my foot in the door, how do I get 5 minutes of their time? We answer all those questions in training. And so part of a very specific marketing process that we have developed is we do a full demo of the product on your behalf. So It's literally it's just step 2 of a multi-step process. Step 1 is doing a practice analysis that we show you how to do, which is easy. You just read off the questions that we give you and get the answers back from them. But after you've done that, you tell the doctor, all right, great, let me schedule a demo with my demo team, and that's us. And we do the demo as if we are a part of your company that you set up. So that builds your credibility. That means you don't have to know a bunch of technical stuff about the software because we have an expert that's doing it for you. So we'll talk a little bit about the rest of the process after this. But yeah, that's how the live demos work. And those are free of charge. We do those totally free. As many demos as you want, as many demos as you can do for doctors, we do them for you for free.
Very good. Raj, I'm just going to call you Raj here. You asked the question, how do I know which doctor should I be going after? Here's a quick, I'm going to give it to you real quickly, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the different specialties just briefly. But any doctor, any medical provider that does their billing on what's called a CMS 1500 form. So that could be cardiologist, podiatry, urology, pediatrics, general practitioners, general surgeons, all of those are going to be. Now, we're going to say this also, this is distinctive called medical billing. It's not dental billing. Dental billing does not use a CMS 1500 form. So that's why we started off with talking about a CMS 1500 form. Those are the doctors of who you would certainly want to be able to go after. Obviously, we've already talked about some of the professional tools that we have, the marketing materials, the training workshop, all the different marketing materials that we have there. We've already kind of addressed that real quickly. But one of the cool the tools of the trade that we have here, and I see this regularly, Adam, that our booth, our trade show booth, is being checked out just about every week. Why don't you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a picture of it. It's a full-size trade show booth that you can rent from us, and the only thing that you pay is shipping costs. That's it. But you do have to book it well out in advance because it does stay shipped out. We've got licensees using it all over the country. And we show you how to find different types of events, you know, not only in your area but anywhere. I mean, you're not restricted geographically, so you can go to any event that you find out about that sounds interesting. But these are medical expos. You know, you'll have different event trade shows with all kinds of different industries there, medical, healthcare industry types, all kinds of stuff where you can get tons of leads. And there's also a smaller trade show display that sits on a table as well, so you have options there. There
you go. All right, let's keep talking. One more thing I think we've got here, maybe one more tip underneath tip number 1. But about the coaching, Adam, we've got folks that have specialties, and these people are what Patrick would call on the advisory board, advising us, also helping with other licensees, and it just doesn't end here. That's really with just about any of our licensees that can help coach a brand new licensee in a specific area, specifically if they're working with a new doctor and they need some help with the specialty.
Yep, this is just a couple of pictures of our people that are on our very long list of rock star licensees who have been doing this for a long time. They know what works, they know what doesn't, they have a very high level of technical knowledge, marketing knowledge, and we have many times reached to those people, those coaches, if you will, and they've given lots of our licensees one-on-one coaching. So that is something that's available as a licensee. Just another way for you to go, oh, you know what? I'm not doing this by myself. I have tons of support. That's whatever opportunity you get into, make sure you have tons of support, and that's what we give you.
Absolutely. Folks, that really kind of concludes tip number 1. We're at the bottom of the hour. We've got 2 more. Hopefully we can get this done in the next 30 minutes. I believe we can, but I'm kind of watching the questions here. So if we don't get to all of your questions, you're asking questions, it looks like we've got a good number of these, but we will do what we can to help make sure that we do that. And since we were talking about support, in tip number 1, I'm going to, Ravi Kumar, I'm going to answer your question here. How much support do I get? Or let's see, how much you support getting me clients? We help you in getting you clients through the whole process, is the live demonstrations, obviously the training class, all the marketing materials, the live demonstrations of us working with you, getting these parts of here with the doctors. Those are the things there that would be the ones that will help you get your doctors there. So, all right, let's go to tip number 2, Adam. Now we're going to talk really about product differentiation. I know that folks that get kind of in the mindset of now, actually wanting to go out there and market to the doctors. Obviously, the question comes about is, what's going to make me different than any other medical billing company out there? And really, why would a doctor want to use me when I'm just now getting started and there's plenty of people that have been out there doing medical billing for any length of time?
Well, there's 2 distinct differentiations that we're talking about here. And the first part is you, yourself, as a licensee, as a licensee of American Business System. So what we have done with all of the marketing materials that we put together that I mentioned, that we've already created all these really good looking, you get your own website, all the flyers, postcards, books, DVDs, all kinds of things that we have put together and produced for you, so that when you are out there talking with people, they will know, they will see that you're not, you haven't just created some flyer on your on your computer. They can see that you have legit materials, in other words. So that's the first part. The second part is the product itself, which is iClaim and EMRx. So when they see a demo of this system that we do for you, for your doctors, they're going to be blown away. Almost every time I am on a demo with a doctor or an office manager, I hear the word "wow,"
right?
Because it has several key features that, because the system was developed by one company and all of the pieces of the puzzle, if you will, were developed by one company. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But because of that, it has several features that are having a huge impact in a positive way on the doctor's revenue. They're not having to relearn a bunch of things. It's very fast, very responsive. They're getting paid faster. Their claim rejection rates are reduced. And it runs on any device that you can see here, any device that can get on the internet. I don't know if that's it looks like that's an iPad mini or something. I don't know what that is, but they're definitely going to want to use the bigger iPad. But yeah, it runs on any internet-connected device. It's cool.
Yeah, and so this is what we're able to deliver. We've got a complete system package, and what we mean by that, especially when we're talking about product differentiation, most billing companies have what's called a practice management system. That's how they do their billing. That's how they help that doctor's office run their front office. That's what's there. That helps that doctor get paid from their billing. We also not only have that, but straight down below it, this is where we make the differentiation. Our system, our iClaim system, also is its own clearinghouse. Now we'll explain what a clearinghouse is for folks that are on here, and before you ask a question, what is a clearinghouse? We'll get to that. But for right now, you got to understand that our system actually contains that. But not only does it contain the clearinghouse, it also contains electronic medical records and a patient portal, which we're going to show all of those to you. So first, I'll start right off with the bat, which is the iClaim system, which Adam has alluded to here. It is a web-based system. Adam, I know when we start talking about the system and all of this, people start asking the question about, do I have to maintain it? Do I have to keep up with the updates? You want to answer that question about iClaim here?
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, Eric, you and I both, and I've seen a lot of software. I've seen a lot of different types of software. And until you really dig in and see our system and see a demo of it, which, by the way, we can give you guys a demo. Just contact your business coach, no problem. But you'll start to really understand how different it is. I was looking at some YouTube videos today on some other software, and the video was posted, a couple of months ago, but it looked like a Windows 95 program. I mean, it just looked teeny tiny text boxes and text fields, and just very hard to read, and I don't know, it just seemed really outdated to me. And that's something that we've paid attention to in developing this system. Everything is very large and easy to press with a finger if you use a tablet, easy to read. But going back to your initial statement, it runs on any internet-connected device. It's fully cloud-based, which means you never have to worry about updates. Like literally every time you log in, we've already done all the updates and installed them behind the scenes. You never have to pay for an update or download or install or anything. It's just the latest, greatest version of the system every time you log in. So it's very cool.
And that's what Adam was saying. Obviously we're showing part of the system, which is the EMRX system, where you could actually do the touch part of it. I mean, obviously it can be run on an iPad or any other type of tablet, or if the doctors are using a laptop with a touch screen, obviously all of that can be used there, and that's what he's talking about there. But let's real quickly, for those that may not understand what a clearinghouse is, let me explain this to you real quickly. When you process medical claims, and this may be new for some of you, you may think that that claim goes directly from your billing system directly to an insurance company. Well, it doesn't. It actually goes through what's called a medical billing clearinghouse, and what a clearinghouse does, it acts as like a direct portal for you to get. I mean, it is a portal that gets you to the insurance company. However, our clearinghouse gives the direct access, the direct portal directly to the insurance companies. So kind of what we were stating back here when we were looking at clearinghouses, many clearinghouses are third-party companies. They're like, call it the middleman. So when in a lot of the doctor systems that they have, when they submit a claim, it goes to a clearinghouse, to that middleman, then it gets sent to the insurance company. And then what we were explaining with ours is that ours acts as a direct portal now to the insurance companies. And then this helps us catch any first-time errors, and it prompts us to make any corrections really before it really gets submitted to the payers, so that we keep that rejection rate. Adam, I know that we've talked about this a lot, but our rejection rate with our system is less than 2%. And this is the reason why. Because when you own the clearinghouse and you're being able to make corrections really in real time, this gives you that unique difference in the marketplace. This separates you from all of the medical billing companies out there, and in providing those low rejections, or if there really any rejections, and really increasing the doctor's reimbursement.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to that, there are companies that say that having a third-party clearinghouse is better. Wrong. It just means there's more opportunity for finger pointing if something goes wrong. So the fact that we are the clearinghouse, we make darn sure that that claim is right before it goes through.
Yeah, and then obviously during those demonstrations, again, if you want to see a live demo, we'll actually explain it through while we're doing that demonstration, and that'll really set the stage right there. All right, last thing that we talked about real quickly is a patient portal. Now, Adam, this is really one of the coolest things, because there's really a lot of things that can be done through the patient portal. Obviously, the patients can pay their bills on time or pay their charges, schedule appointments. They can actually check into the doctor's office directly from here. But one of the things that we're not showing here that can be done is e-visits, or what's called telemedicine. You want to kind of talk about the future of telemedicine, and that's what's already in our patient portal?
Yeah, this patient portal is really cool. I mean, it allows them, of course, patients to look at all their information and download their medical history, but they can communicate directly with the doctors. They can do prescription refills. And one thing that Eric just mentioned is this: if you guys after the webinar go Google telemedicine, you'll see it all over the news. Basically, it's exactly what we're doing right now. I'm a patient and Eric is a doctor, and the doctor can actually treat the patient over a webcam and actually get reimbursed. Some states are starting to reimburse that as a real visit. So this is the wave of the future, and it's been very helpful for people that are invalid, they can't leave their house, or people that are far, live really far away from the doctor. So it's been very helpful for some people. Telemedicine, yeah, it's cool.
Very good. Now we're going to kind of paint this picture here so you can kind of see the whole process as this whole thing is going through. Imagine that you're the patient, you're at home, you could check in all of everything you need to check in from home. You don't even have to fill out why you're coming in today, because you can fill all of that out online through the patient portal. Once you press go and you set that appointment or you fill that information out, that information goes directly to the doctor's office, both to the practice management side and now even to the doctor's EMR system. I mean, it's going to dump all that information in there. Everything that you may have said about, I've got a sore throat and it's been hurting for this long. When you check in through the patient portal, all of that detail goes directly into the doctor's EMR, our EMRx platform, making your visit a little bit shorter but very precise, and getting through that doctor's visit pretty quickly. Once the doctor gets through seeing you and they finish that encounter with you, they can send that directly to you now as the medical billing company, process that claim, let it run through our clearinghouse, and then finally let it go directly to these insurance companies, whether it's Medicare or Medicaid or United Healthcare. So folks, imagine that this is one whole day. You could check in, see the doctor gets the information to you as the billing company, process that claim, and if that claim is processed before 8 p.m. Pacific, that's actually going to the insurance the same day. Adam, this is what's separating our licensees from all other medical billing companies out there.
Yep, it reduces, like I said, it reduces errors and it reduces finger pointing. It's very, very, very efficient. Yep.
Very, very efficient. All right, before we jump into the last tip, I'm going to try to squeeze in a few questions here because I know that we both need to kind of wrap up right up at the top of the hour. Andrew, you're asking a question, how much do you charge for marketing materials? Adam, you want to talk about whether we charge anything or what the charges are for marketing materials?
Yeah, Andrew, so you get several thousand pieces in your initial business package when you pay the license fee, which is a one-time fee of $26,000. That does have to be paid up front, before you go through the training and get all your materials. If you want to do any reorders, it's at cost, our cost. So we don't mark up that at all, and that includes the customization of those marketing materials as well. You get some in your business package that you're able to use right away. Obviously, they're not customized because we don't know what your company name is at that point. But there's a voucher in there to order your customized materials for free whenever you come up with the name and the logo and all that kind of stuff.
Cora asked the question, do we provide names of sales reps? No, we don't provide names of sales reps. Now, in the training class, we show you how to find those sales reps, how to train those sales reps, how to coordinate and pull all the information, how you're going to pay them, how you're going to work the contracts. We do that during training, but Cora, we don't give you sales reps' names. We'll show you how to find them, how to hire them, how to train them, and obviously how to sell.
You think maybe she's talking about an ABS business coach?
That's a great question. That's a great question, Cora. Thank you for clarifying that, Adam. That's a great question.
Yeah, because Cora said that she's ready to pay us, so we need to figure out how she can send us her money.
Okay.
She said, I'm ready to pay. How do I pay? Who do I speak with?
Very good.
Cora,
okay.
Yeah, Cora, just call our 800 number, 866-565-8413, and our whoever answers the phone can certainly look you up in the system and see who your business coach is, if that's what you were asking. So hopefully that helps. Yeah.
There you go. All right, we got about 15 more minutes, Adam, so we're going to get on to the third one here. And we're going to talk about you just don't know what you don't know. And we're going to first of all start off with, I know a lot of people like to, obviously $26,000 is not just chump change. Obviously people are really doing their due diligence to find out, do I spend this money, do I not spend this money? And then what we do find is a lot of people want to start to go try to pre-market, and we try to suggest people don't go out and try to pre-market because that might be burning leads there that you don't need to burn because obviously you just don't know what you don't know. You want to add anything else to that, Adam?
I think your slide is paused on that previous slide.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me kind of go back over to here on this slide here, or on the other slide.
No, go ahead and keep going.
Okay, so we go here on the leads there.
And there we go. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, talking about leads there, burning up leads.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they really want to make sure that that there's gonna be a market, that there's gonna be people they can sign up, as a client before they go through our training, which is completely understandable. But, and this is really where the phrase "you don't know what you don't know" comes into play, because you're going to get questions and comments from office managers and doctors that you don't know how to answer. So you got to be really, really careful with regard to doing that in this industry. So, we can certainly, talk to your business coach. We can help you try to figure out the size of your market. I mean, it's anywhere in the U.S., so it's huge. But yeah, so we can help you walk through that kind of stuff. But you got to be real careful in how you approach people if you haven't been through training yet. But we can certainly guide you in that.
There you go. And one of the things that we'll guide you in is trying to get you to understand what is revenue cycle management, and that's what you're going to get a certification in as a certified medical revenue manager. And it does start with all of this, and this is what sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. If you try to go out there and try to pre-market and go talk with a few doctors, and maybe some doctors that are your friends, they may start to deter you a little bit because they're going to say, you just don't know what you don't know, and boy, I would really think twice before you do that. That's the importance of coming to training. And Adam, I would even go as far as to say this. This is why people join us, because of our 23 years of experience. We are able to fill that gap for them.
That's exactly right. When you finish our training, our 5-day training, you will know tons more than a large majority of office managers out there. You'll be surprised. When you go out there and start talking with people, you'll be surprised. Hey, I can really talk and act like I know what I'm talking about here.
Right. And we're going to take you through all of this here. We're going to take you through medical terminology. Obviously, a lot of people may not know what ICD stands for. The International Codification of Diseases is what that stands for, and that's the version that we're in right now. CPTs, that's the procedure codes. What about the information with Medicare and Medicaid? What is reimbursement versus the charged amount? CMS, which stands for Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services. We're going to walk you through some of these things there, because obviously the doctors may want to go make sure that, do you have all the right procedure codes? Do you have all the right diagnosis codes in your system? We want you to be able to look at them and go, yes, and it's all up to date all the time. And so we want to make sure that you understand medical terminology. Then, Adam, adding that in there, what questions to ask? Our practice analysis questionnaire, you mentioned this earlier, this is actually going to help them discover whether they're going to be able to help a practice or not.
Yeah, this is easy. We give you that questionnaire, as you can see right there. It has all the questions laid out for you that you're just asking, and this is usually done with an office manager. Takes about 15 minutes maybe, and then you provide those answers to our support team, and we take a look at this and we say, okay, and we help you put together that practice revenue report that you see on the right. So we help you prepare that revenue report so that you can take it back to the office manager and say, look, based on what you told me, look what we found. And then you and the office manager can go hand in hand to the doctor and say, look what we found. We found some areas where you could really improve, revenue by doing this, and this.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I mean, if you look at what you can take from the questionnaire, the practice analysis, collect all those numbers, and then if you look at the report down over here, you can plug in all of those numbers over there. Folks, this is what's going to help you, and for the doctor to go, wow, I've got some problems, because if you're telling me that you can increase my monthly revenue in this scenario with another $26,000 a month, folks, that's impactful to a doctor. So you got to be careful that we're not trying to sell on price. We're not trying to beat somebody else's up with our system's better than your system. If we stick it down to with the doctor that it's about your revenue, it's what you're going to be able to collect. folks, this is what's going to help you sell this. And then along with the live webinar, we're going to help you to do that. And right now, if you try to go out to try to pre-market, you don't have the tools, whether it's the iClaim, EMRX, Clearinghouse, or Patient Portal, right off the tip. So if you're going to do this, come to the training class, because obviously at the end of the training class, and I'll let Adam share this about the money back guarantee, you will know as to whether or not you will be able to do that and get that information out.
That's right. Yeah, we once you go through the training, you will form a bond with all those people in that training class, and they will be your initial little community that you'll have to support each other as you're building your business.
There you go. All right, I'm going to pull up this last one here because we're really getting to the last part of it. It's going to give us a little bit of time to do some Q&A here, and then we'll get to the money back guarantee. But folks, remember these 3 tips that we've shared with you. Don't try to go out there and reinvent the wheel. We've got the wheel. We've worked it. We've got that. Know that you're going to have a product differentiation out there. You're going to have all of it, what you're going to need at your fingertips to separate yourselves from the other people, what you would think to be your competition. And try not to go out there and try to pre-market, because it's only going to make you fail. We want you to succeed. So just kind of listen into what we're doing there. So let's kind of jump over here, Adam, to the questions. I'm going to start there. If you can find, I'm going to pull this out here so I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to start with Alex's question. And the question here is, speaking of implementation, what method do you find best for migrating old records and patient demographics into your system? And are there tools available for this process?
Yeah, good question, Alex. And there's going to be a lot of different scenarios that you will run across with different clients that you sign up. Not every doctor is going to want to use our full-blown, iClaim, EMRX, everything all together. There's doctors that are going to want to use their own EHR and keep it, and that's fine. So, we just have to take a look at what their needs are, what the situation is. But if there's a full migration that's required from a previous system, that's another thing that our team helps you with. So right. we can work with your doctor and get their data out of their current system and help migrate it to the new system. That's another benefit of being one of our licensees, is we help you with that.
There you go. Foster, you're asking the question, can you just briefly address the main points in our favor when addressing a doc who contends to have the cheap billing system or solution? One we have spoken to say his faxes is, let's see, one we have spoken to says he faxes his info into some operation overseas and they complete the submission. Yeah, you won't have to do anything overseas. Obviously, if they're using the EMRX, Foster, that goes directly into the system. There'll be no faxing. So that's one of the points of what you would say, addressing things that are in your favor. You can stop this faxing, and it's going to go directly to you as a medical billing company. And the best way to see that, again, I would say, Foster, if you haven't seen a demo, get with your business coach and see that.
Oh, he did. I gave it to him.
Okay, cool. Good.
Yeah. Me and Foster, we go way back. But I think, kind of to bounce off of that as well. If you're talking in terms of how do we get this guy as a client, if a doctor tells you that they're faxing stuff overseas and they're some companies doing it for like 2% or something crazy, and they're acting like they're happy with that, I would run far away from that. That's not a potential client for you.
Right.
The only thing that you could do in that scenario is do the practice analysis and show them the demo and show them how efficient our system is. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, you're not going to want to sign up a client for 2%. You're not going to be profitable.
Right.
So what we have seen in those cases is we have seen licensees literally just tell a doctor, you know what, go with the 2%, good luck. And what happens a lot of the time, they will get a call several months down the road. They will get a call from that doctor saying, I made a huge mistake.
Right.
They don't like the technology. They don't like the support. They don't like the results. There's a lot that they don't like about it. What they do like is knowing that they have the owners of the billing business locally in their city, in their town, in their neighborhood, with the cell phone of the owner that they can call anytime. That's what they want. That's what speaks volumes. So, I don't know. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Ravakumar, you said about cost, $26,000 is the only cost. Is there any yearly, monthly, or bill cost for the support?
I'm sorry. What? Read that one more time.
He was just asking, is the $26,000 the only cost? Yes, it's the only cost that there is. There's no additional cost fees for support. So just to kind of get that and help out with that, because I know we've got about 4 more minutes here. We want to make sure that we help out here.
It's not a franchise, so there's no royalty fees. There's no even ongoing support fees. Nothing.
There you go. Don, you asked the question, do you integrate with all EHR applications? It depends, Don. That's a question that would have to be addressed by our technical support. For Adam and or me to say, oh yeah, we can integrate with any EHR system out there. We can't know until what that doctor's EHR system might be. There are some that can be done, but
I would say all EHRs, no, definitely not, because there's some out there that are pieces of junk.
Right.
And you would not want to even touch them. You would not even want to even try to integrate with them. So, Don, the only way to find out is to do that practice analysis where you figure out what they're using, and then we get with our tech team and see if we can do it. That's the only way to know.
All right. Nitish, you're asking doctors who join the medical centers, or do we deal with the medical center or individual doctors? Again, that's one of those questions that you're going to find out in the practice analysis, whether they're part of a group, whether they're maybe even employed by the hospital, whether they're a small individual group of doctors. You can certainly do that, and obviously with independent doctors as well. I'm going to ask this question to you, Adam, from Don. She goes, I entered the webinar a little late, but do you service all insurances from state to private insurances?
Yeah, they're all in our system, public and private insurance payers. We have connections to pretty much all the labs and pharmacies out there. I mean, you name it, it's pretty much already set up in there, as well as the medical codes. Anytime the medical codes for the diagnoses and treatments, anytime those gets changed or updated, we do all that for you automatically. It's in the system, yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and before we, because we've got about 2 more minutes here left for the webinar. Boy, this hour went by fast, didn't it? I'm going to let Adam explain the 100% money back guarantee, and when he gets through with that, I'll put up the last screen, and then we'll try to see if we've got any room to take any more questions after that. But Adam, go ahead and talk about the 100% money back guarantee again.
Okay, well, if you guys have been on one of these webinars, you see this. We say this every time. This is how much we believe in our live training and the quality of it. At the end of the workshop, if you go through the entire class and you learn every aspect of the model and how the services work, how to market them, how to make money on them, if you don't feel like you can run this business, if you don't feel like it's for you, you can ask for your money back at the end of the class. We want people to be committed 120% to this business. So if you don't feel like you're going to be able to make it work, you can ask for your money back. And that's how much we believe in the training, because that's happened very, very, very few times in the past several years. Go take a look at our YouTube page. If you guys haven't seen our YouTube page, I just uploaded the testimonials from our last training class. There's probably 10 or 15 people on that video. And every single one of them, they were just blown away by the training. And every testimonial video that you see, they're just blown away by the training. So
absolutely. There you got to come experience the training. You got to sit in the class. You're going to, a lot of your questions that you're asking today, those are gone over in detail. So know that that's it.